Hi, welcome back artists. This week we're going to be doing a drawing of the Grand Canyon. I found this project on another art teacher's blog called Deep Space Sparkle, and I'm going to put a link below if you want to check out any of her other projects. So just like the project we did 2 weeks ago, the landscape in one point, we're going to have a horizon line, a background, a middle ground, and a foreground. So I'm going to show you how to make it look like these rocks are floating, and then you can add any kind of details you want in your foreground. So I put a little snake, a cactus, and some rocks, but you can add whatever kind of desert touches you want to yours. So I needed a pencil to draw it first. I outlined mine in Sharpie, and then I painted mine in with watercolor paint. If you don't want to paint, it's fine to use crayon, marker, or colored pencil, whatever you have around that you want to use to add color to it. And we'll do that part, the drawing portion together. All right, let's get started on these Grand Canyon drawings. Okay, artists, to get started on our drawing, go ahead and grab your Sharpie, your pencil, a ruler, and then whatever you're gonna use to add color. So I did use watercolor paints, but I'm gonna do this next one in marker. You can also use colored pencil, crayon, pastel, whatever you wanna use. So to get started, go ahead and get a blank piece of paper. And the first thing we're gonna put in is this horizon line. So I'm gonna go towards the top of my paper, and then using your ruler, you're gonna draw your horizon line. Now I'm gonna use Sharpie just so you can see, but please do everything in pencil first and then outline in Sharpie. That way you are able to just kind of go over it and you don't have to worry about erasing it if you make a mistake. Okay, once you get your horizon line on, let's kind of put some mountains on top of that horizon line. So I kind of did some flat plateaus. If you've ever been to the desert, think about kind of the shapes you see when you look out on the horizon line. So I might do some round, come up and do some stair step type. Come down, switch back to the round ones, maybe in some tall skinny peaks. Maybe you want to show some overlapping over the others, that's fine. And then what I'm gonna put in is the kind of the ground coming on the other side before we start doing these dips down to the valleys. So I'm gonna go ahead and go right along parallel to the horizon line, but we're not gonna do a perfectly straight line. We're actually gonna make it kind of wiggly to show that the ground is sticking out in different heights. Okay, once you have that one in, next step is we're going to draw these floating islands. So look at the yellow part. We're gonna be drawing that. And the trick to making these look nice is we're gonna try to keep them horizontal or flat-ish on the backs and then have them come down and be windy in the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and start one over here. I'm gonna make it kind of flat in the back and then come over and make it a little bit wiggly in the front. And put about however many you want. I'm probably gonna do 5 or 6. They almost look like blobs right now before we draw the other part of land. We are gonna have them overlapping, so even below, it looks kind of cool if we put some in the back and some in the front. You might even have some going off the page. Okay, nice. The next step we're gonna do is we're gonna place things in the foreground. So I did a little snake. It's not really brown like a rattlesnake, but some rocks, a cactus. The blog where I found this project, she actually did like a coyote howling. So any kind of desert animal, you could do a vulture, whatever you can think of. I'm gonna go ahead and do mine just like my other one. So down on the bottom here, I'm gonna put a cactus. So I'm gonna come up. I think I'm just gonna do a 2-armed cactus this time since I did it so close to the ledge. But come up and put the top of the cactus, and then I'm gonna put an arm, and then come down. So since you're gonna be using pencil, you'll be able to erase if it overlaps with any of these. And then I'm gonna add maybe some spikes with my Sharpie. Maybe you even wanna put a little flower on top. All right, finish adding some details to your cactus, and then let's come over and create a horizon line. So I'm gonna draw the one in the front, or this line, and I waited until after I did the cactus. Since I'm doing mine in Sharpie, I won't be able to erase where it would intercept, but since I'm gonna do everything else small, I'm gonna go ahead and add a horizon line, and again, I'm gonna make it wiggly. This would be like the cliff where you're standing on the ledge and you can see down into the Grand Canyon. Okay, now if you wanna add some more details on the bottom here, you can, and you're using pencils, so of course you can change. I'll add some rocks. My rocks, I'm just gonna do a rainbow arch with a flat bottom, and you can have some overlapping if you want, getting smaller. Add some little ones, some grass, and then maybe I'll put a snake over here. I did a snake last time. Maybe you could want to do a scorpion, whatever kind of animal you like. So I'm gonna start with a snake's head, and I'm gonna have my snake curling. Maybe I'll do him slithering, and then the end of him going into a spiral. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you how to draw the straight line. So we're gonna come straight down off of those islands and add these vertical columns that will color different colors. And then we're gonna go to the back and do it off the very back too. So if you're someone who likes tight lines, go ahead and use your ruler for this. Otherwise, it's not a necessity. So you're gonna go to the edge of each of the islands and draw a line going down to this front line we just drew. So you can use a ruler if you want. I'm not going to use a ruler on all of mine. I feel pretty comfortable just drawing the straight lines down. Okay, so now that I have all the columns drawn, I'm gonna go ahead and put the stripes in. So I'll speed this part up, but just try to, they don't even have to be spaced that evenly. You can see I did some small ones, some big ones. But I did try to, when I had like a little blob, I would draw 2 lines coming down off of that. So I'll go ahead and start drawing those. So I have a blob sticking out here. So I'll kind of draw 2 there, and you can kind of separate them like that. Okay, once you get all those columns drawn, now we're gonna go to the back and add the stripes into the very back lines. So again, you can use your ruler if you want, or you can just freehand it. Okay, now you have the basic start of your drawing done. We just have to add color. If you want to put some details like some clouds, whatever you want to add further on, of course you can go further than I took mine. And then we're going to go ahead and color it in. So the most important part, I think, is to make sure we unify all these lands. And I kind of did a yellow for sand. So I'm going to go to the tops of all of the kind of land islands and color them in uniform the same color. Okay, once you get that done, then you can go ahead and color everything else in how you like. I did my mountains brown, and then I kind of alternated colors for the stripes to make them stand out, and I did use kind of warm colors. You can use different tans, oranges, reds, and then I did throw some purples in there to kind of go with my sky in the background. I hope you guys had fun working on this awesome Grand Canyon picture. Again, I said I was going to post the link below if you want to check out Deep Space Sparkle or some of the other projects that she has on her blog. And if you would like, go ahead and send us some pictures so we can see what you're working on. See you next weekend.